What's going on, Gunners? So today I'm going to touch on how the mayor of New York has signed a bill stating that gun violence and firearms as a state of emergency. There's a few things, or there's a few ways I feel about this. Yes, it is an emergency due to the fact of gun violence. But he's also targeting gun manufacturers. He's trying to make it where you can sue the gun manufacturers because of the harm that the firearms produce. Now, when you buy a firearm, there's 3 reasons or more that you're buying a firearm. I'm going to mention 3 of them: self-defense, hunting, and the third is when you purchase that firearm or have that firearm, your intentions are to use it for bodily harm, to either injure or kill someone. There are other reasons people collect firearms, but those are the main 3 reasons I believe people obtain firearms. Once again, hunting, self-defense, and to use it for to cause bodily harm or death towards an individual. Now, I'm on that spectrum. I'm the defense. So I bought my firearm because home defense and to defend my family and myself. And from purchasing that first firearm, it turns out I enjoy shooting. So I purchased more. So that brings another reason why someone will buy a firearm: the enjoyment of shooting or competition of shooting or whatever. But the people who obtain firearms, I don't want to say purchase, because the subject I'm about to talk about are the people that obtain firearms to use them for bodily harm against an individual. So they obtain these firearms by any means necessary, pretty much. Either they steal it, they go buy it black market, go to another state and buy it. And speaking of another state, the mayor said that 74% of gun violence that's committed in New York, the firearms are brought in from out of state. And mind you, New York has one of the strictest gun laws in America. So this is just to show you that gun laws really don't work. The gun laws that should be enforced even more are if you're caught with a gun and it's not registered to you, or you caught with a gun and it's an illegal gun. Those are laws that should be enforced even more. Or if you commit a crime with a firearm, those are the type of laws that should be pushed even harder, because it shows that these people, I don't want to pinpoint New York, but people that obtain guns illegally are going to do it regardless of the laws of what state you live in. So New York, like I said, has the strictest gun laws, but yet 74% of their violent crimes that are committed with guns are brought in from other states. So that's just to show you that no matter what state you live in, if the laws say you can't have a certain firearm in a certain state, there's ways to bring that firearm in that state, and you will be obtaining it illegally. Something else that he wants to do, he wants to put more money into the youth as far as jobs are concerned. And I think this will help, but it won't. I don't think it'll put a huge dent in the gun violence that's going on, because the gun violence that's going on is, I don't know the percentage, but I'm sure the percent of gang on gang violence is very high. When it comes to gun violence as for self-defense, I don't know if that falls in the same category, but I'm sure that's more on the bottom of the list. I'm thinking that most of the gun violence is gang on gang violence. He did not mention anything about, or I didn't read anything or see anything about finding ways to prevent individuals from joining gangs or doing something for that. Well, I'll take that back. I guess the money he's putting into the community to help the youth will deter them from joining gangs. And even if you do that, it's still going to take a couple of years to trickle down to the youth to stir in a different direction. Because if you think about it, so you have these 12, 13, 14-year-old kids who are already exposed to the gang life. So you have to start exposing kids at a younger age to activities to deter them from being gang members or wanting to join a gang. So there's still going to be a timeline where there's going to be violence. I won't say a high rate of violence, but you're still going to have violence because you have, like I said, the 12, 13, 14-year-old kids who are just now joining the gangs or are part of the gangs that are using guns for doing violent crimes or whatever. So you're still going to have a few years to teach the younger kids or send them in a different direction as far as gang life. So this is not going to be an overnight thing whatsoever. And another key point was the communication and the relationship between the police force and the community to be better. Now, he was saying because the relationship between police force and the community isn't strong in these particular neighborhoods, that people are less likely to call the police because they fear the police, number one, and they really think that the police won't do anything anyway. So when incidents occur, the residents, they don't even call the police officers or 911. So they're trying to have a better and a stronger bond between the police force and the community, which that's going to take a lot of work, because the violence from police on civilians is it's crazy. It's like, the Black Lives Matter, the police shooting black men or whatever. How are they supposed to trust the police department or police officers when things like that are happening, especially when these young men are pulled over and shot and killed with they don't have any weapons or anything. That's the thing that blows my mind all the time, is when a person is shot and they don't have any type of weapon. That's the thing that gets me. Now, if you're shot and you have a weapon, I just want you to show me evidence that you needed to use your firearm to kill the civilian. But if they didn't have a weapon at all, or they didn't look like they had a weapon at all, those are the type of things that get to me all the time. Now, like I said, if you run across a criminal and he shows that he has a weapon, then not by all means, but if you as a police officer shoot that person, I see a little bit of just cause because of that. But anyway, I think this state of emergency that the mayor has signed or put in effect, it will help, but it's not going to stop criminals from obtaining firearms whatsoever. It might slow down the violence, but it's not going to stop anyone from obtaining a firearm that they're not supposed to have. 74% is a very high number. That's closer to 100% than it is to 25%. So to stop that, they have to do a lot of work, and they're also going to need the help of other states, because the people who obtain the firearms are going to other states to get them. So they have to work hand in hand together to stop that. Now, will this affect the average Joe like me if I was living in New York? I'm not for sure if it will or not, because I'm obtaining my firearms legally. So until they say all firearms are illegal, it's not going to hurt the regular John Doe. It's helping him because it's trying to take the bad guy from getting weapons and firearms to use against the good guy. So anyway, I was just I think I was shocked that a state of emergency could be brought forth because of gang violence, or not. I don't want to say gang violence, gun violence. It might work, and if it does work, I think other states should follow suit. I hate to see anybody die, and then I hate to see anybody die by gun violence, because I'm an advocate of individuals owning guns, whether if it's for self-defense, hunting, or the game of shooting, or the sport of shooting firearms. So you guys tell me what you think. Thank you for taking a moment and watching this video. Please hit the thumbs up for me. Hit the bell so you know when I post a video. And don't forget, we're all gunners, whether you're a beginner gunner, intermediate gunner, pro, or advanced gunner. We're all gunners. I'll see you guys later.